Buongiorno and welcome back to Koi Fish Johnny. Holy sh... What is this? Look at my pond. This is like a clip that I did the other day. Can you believe that? Does anyone know what it is before we start? Yeah, it's not very good and it was clogging up my filters. Hence why I've got my net out, because I was fishing it out with that. I was doing loads of filter drops, just basically to allow the filter to fill up. But what is it and why is it there? It's goddamn ugly. But it was necessary because, in short, it's algae. Okay, it's like a rubbery algae. It's like a rubbery form of algae that sticks on the side of the pond. What happened was it was peeling off quite a lot and clogging up my Nexus, which is here, which I'll unravel in a minute. Well, when I say unravel, I just mean take the tarpaulin cover off, because the reason I have the tarpaulin cover on is to enable the good bacteria to grow, because it thrives in the darkness like Batman. So we're going to drop the Nexus in a minute and you'll just see exactly what is coming through. It has been like 3 days since my last drop, and obviously since the dramatic start of this video, seeing all that. In fact, I'll probably pop it in here now. So what I did was, because it was clogging up inside the mechanical filtration and preventing the water reaching the outside chamber effectively, I decided to brush down the walls, reduce the amount of algae that's hanging around on the walls and then becoming free floating, which is clogging up my filter. So I cleaned the brush and then I brushed it. But Jesus Christ, when I brushed the walls, obviously it's quite a large surface area, isn't it, if you think about it. What have we got? 4.5 meters by nearly 2 meters, and then we've got a 1.3 meter drop. So you've got the walls, you've got the bottom, so that's all going to be coated in this algae stuff. And when I brushed it, oof, there was a lot. You can see it all floating around. I did panic a little bit, but thankfully I had a day off, or half a day off. So I got my net, which was very, very, very handy. And I turned the filter up the speed of the Nexus. And so it was pulling it massively in there. And when it was clogging up, because I was on hand, stood there, I stopped immediately and dropped it and got rid of all the algae. Unfortunately, I don't think I did a video of the actual algae all at the bottom and the huge amount and the disgusting look on it, but you have to just take it from me. In fact, I did do a little video of it coming in, so I'll pop that in now. You can see this. This is when I brushed down the walls, turned up the pump. I think it was about 65–70%, so 7,000 litres per hour being pulled in there, and you can see all that disgusting dirty algae that had become free floating, that was now being pulled in from the bottom drain into the actual Nexus, into the mechanical filtration. And you can see just why I had to stay on hand, because that inevitably would clog it up quite fast, and it did clog it up quite fast. But I wanted to optimize water retention, because my water quality is good quality water, so I didn't want to lose as much water as possible, but I did want to do as much mechanical filtration as possible. So I dropped it and I dropped it. I can't remember how many times, 5–6 times I dropped it, as well as parading myself around with my big landing net, pan net, which is amazing for the job really, because that took out loads. I scooped into the net and disgustingly I threw it on top of the corals over there, because I couldn't be bothered going getting my green bin. Lazy Johnny. So that is what was floating around my pond. Also, it's been confirmed that I have zero parasites in my pond and on my fish. The next point of call for us will be to drop this Nexus after 3 days since doing the crazy drops, so then we can have a look at it and see what's what. And there are a few other things that I'm going to include towards the end of this video about like what's going to happen over the weekend, because there is going to be a significant visual ugliness, other than me, coming to my pond very soon. Okay, so that's her uncovered. You can see that the outer chamber, in fact what I'll do is I'll remove my muglet out of the way. Here we go. You can see there that the outer chamber is lower than the inner chamber. You can also see what I'm talking about here with this horrible, like sponge-like, rubbery, not very nice to look at or feel, unless you're weird. That, so I'll just pull that over there. I'm going to be mowing the lawn soon. So you could see that the inner chamber was higher than the outer chamber, which generally means that the Oh. Which generally means that this needs dropping. The mechanical filtration needs to be cleaned out to enable all the water to pass effectively through the K1 media and into this, where it goes down through and into the outside chamber. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in a second is we're going to be turning off the pumps, which I've turned down. So we'll turn that off. We'll pop this in here, like this, and what I like to do is take the lid off, pop it there for a second, pop in this. You can use it. I can do the ball valve, but I can't be bothered going down there. The water level is a little bit lower than I'd like, so we are going to stop the water going into the outer chamber. Then we're going to release the air going into the outer chamber. Now we're going to put the air, divert it into the middle. The reason why I take the lid off is I like to give it a little shake just to dislodge it, then give it a stir up. So you can see straight away how bad that is. Absolutely disgusting. So you can see straight away just how bad that is as we let it bubble up for like 5-10 minutes. I'm going to turn the water on because the water is slightly lower than I would have liked. This part here, this inner chamber, what I do is I drop it. I'm not saying it's the right way, it's just the way that I do it. I drop it until it's like 75% empty, then I take the middle out, pop it on the side, which I'm not going to be able to record because it is quite sharp, this on the edges, so I'm led to believe it can damage your skin, cut you or whatever, so I just want to focus on that rather than cut myself for the sake of showing you how to take that out the middle. It just literally comes out because it hangs on some little pegs, but the walls are a lot clearer. Anyway, I'm going to go and drop the Tempest and then I will come back to you. In fact, no. While that's bubbling up, I'll walk round to the Tempest. We'll discuss water lettuces en route. So that's probably the better one out of the three. I think they've had it now. So they did have a little baby water lettuce, as you can see, which made me a bit sad because it's the last part of the year. In fact, it's here. So there, you see a little baby water lettuce. This, okay. And this, they're all going to come out now. Yep, that's it. Live and on camera, the water lettuce is being removed. Pond temperature is 18.1, would you believe? Okay, so next thing is I'm going to drop the Tempest, but I'm going to do, you don't need to see me do that, so I'm just going to go off and do it now. Okay. So here we go. Let's have a look at the fish. You can see over there they are, the starter pack in full effect. Which is absolutely awesome because I've heard Dave has had a few people contacting him for starter packs. They've got Qucik guys in, which is amazing. But there you go, that's my starter pack. And as you can see there, I don't know if you can see, come around, I am getting a few leaves. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, in the bottom, in my bottom drain. So when I've tightened that back up after I kick-started the pond, I've obviously tightened it too much. So I'm thinking that the only way to do this is to go into the pond myself in my Speedos and twist it to release it to allow leaves to successfully go through, because we are getting a little bit of a clog there. You can see there the fish? You see them? They are looking absolutely amazing. The shower is obviously, like, the shower's grown a lot, Qucik guy's grown a lot. There, look at that. Don't disturb them too much, but let's just have a little watch of them because that's what they're all about. These three are my favourite in this corner here. The other three over there are not. That's probably the only way to say it. I still love them. I still think they're amazing, amazing fish. Everyone has their favourites. And for me, it's flirts between the Shuro, the Sankey, and the Kahak. The Shuro, the Sankey, and the Qucik guy, obviously. Because Johnny loves the Qucik guy, baby. Welcome to an angle of Johnny you've never seen before. I hope this comes out right. Right, so it is very dirty. I'm not going to pick you up because I balance you on a load of bricks and it doesn't look the most steady of things. Right, so it's been bubbling now for about 10-15 minutes. I'm just going to release the water. So this releases the inner chamber. So what I'm waiting for now is I like to when this is dropping, I like to have a little dust of the sides down, because there's a tiny little ledge on the edge there. Now you can hear the water, so it's going below the level. So what I'm going to do now, strategically, when it's gone below the bubbling level, as you can hear, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Right, going past the last thing, so we'll just divert the air, which will sweep the fish for a minute, and then we'll lift this out. You can see there, there's some algae, so just way up. Okay, so it's all completely dropped out now, apart from a few leaves and bits and pieces, so here you go over the top. You see there? I'm having to keep pressure on here because watch, when I release the pressure it's like that. Okay, so that didn't go as well as planned, did it? Because I didn't really show you exactly how dirty it was in the inside chamber, but it was bloody filthy. I had a few leaves in there, so at the end I was like trying to grab the leaves to try and stop them from going out through the waste pipe, but because my waste pipe, it doesn't go into like a I'll show you in fact, one second. So my waste pipe, it goes from there when opened down here through this big long thing all the way down to, if you can see the second tree there, opposite is the closest drain to me that isn't the drain at the front, because I obviously do not want fish shit sitting right behind my bifolds because it'll stink. So that's the closest external drain all the way down there, so it's a marathon for it. So in short, I don't really want the waste section clogging up as much as possible, so at the end I had to cancel it because I was diving in trying to grab leaves into the shit. That's Koi Fish Johnny, I'll go anywhere, do anything within reason. But yeah, I was just trying to remove the leaves as much as I could at the end to try and prevent that from blocking, because inevitably it'll block at some point. I can't think of a better way to do it than to have that pipe running out there. I could potentially sink it. I'd like to know what you guys do. In fact, that's the honest truth. I'd like to know what you do. I know a lot of people do them drainaways, is it called? Like where they put the waste pipe into the water, into the soil, and helps fertilise the plants, which would probably be great for the laurels that I'm trying to grow on the outside. But I'd just like to know what you guys are doing, how it's working out for you guys, whether you've been in the same position as me, or whether I've optimised it and just have to put up with it. But inevitably at some point I just think it will block. So we're just refilling the pond there at the back. I'm going to take my net and put it upstairs. We're just going to wait for the water level to come up a little bit in the next episode of Koi Fish Johnny, which I will cover the Nexus in a minute. Okay guys, so that's it from me. Well, the next episode will unfortunately be on stopping these little buggers getting in my pond. These. The leaves are coming down off the tree, which means one thing, the roof has got to go onto the pond. The pond temperature is bizarrely still at 18 degrees and we are expecting a really hot weekend for this time of year coming up, and probably Sunday evening, afternoon, evening, to try and put everything back on it. It is going to be bloody ugly again, just because I've not got round to making a full-time screening for my pond, which I really need to do. So the next episode is making this pond goddamn frigging ugly by putting the roof back on for the winter.